Do you know what is the root to all disease? What's going on, guys? Dr. Sean here, the author of Discover Choice. If you're new here, welcome. We are so glad you're here. Consider subscribing. We put in something, we drop something every day that is personal growth, personal development, how to develop your power of choice all the time. If you've been here before and you found that value, welcome back. We're so glad that you're here. Now back to the question. Are you aware of what is the root to all disease? This is a very serious conversation. If you follow with me, I'm going to share a lot of information that people share with me that I treat in the hospital. They bless me with information, and I try to bless you with this conversation. The root to all disease. It's an idea that we don't have a choice. Or it's an idea, it's kind of an illusion of limited choices. This is the root to all disease. Now, I was just talking to a gentleman a couple days ago, and he came into the hospital because his blood pressure was way out of control. He didn't want to take blood pressure medications. And so he had been recommended them before, it was working. Somehow he stopped them. He stopped them after he lost weight, but then after he lost weight, then he gained weight again, and then he needed blood pressure medications again. And but he didn't think about taking his blood pressure until he got a crazy headache. I mean, it was like his head was going to explode. And I don't like using terms like that. However, I'm a neurologist. I see what happens when people don't take their blood pressure medications. They literally have arteries that break in their brain, and they don't do well. So anyway, his main concerns were when he was going to be able to get off of blood pressure medications again after he was in dire straits. And that's fine. I understand the idea of wanting to do well without medications. But here's the thing. As we talked more about his life and his lifestyle and his approach to life, he shared that he enjoys skating, and he has a close-knit group of folks around. They like to go skating, hang out together, smoke some cigarettes together. Some of them are in his family. He's 46 years old. Turns out I'm 56. And he was describing that he was in the third quarter of his life. Okay, well, if he's in his third quarter, what does that make me? But that's a different story. He further went on to describe his eating habits, his lifestyle habits, his drinking habits. And he shared in a very open format, we had a very nice rapport, that he was not doing too badly with his nutrition. As a matter of fact, he was saying, I've always been very healthy. And then he started saying, you know, I don't eat bad food, I don't eat processed food too much, I don't eat fried food, and I don't drink a bunch of Coca-Cola and carbonated beverages and things like that. And so he went on to describe his health in terms of things that he considered that were deleterious, that were harmful to health. Follow that closely. He was describing his health situation and indeed saying he's always been healthy because he doesn't do anything that's not healthy. But then he went on to say that he probably does have too much alcohol, and he probably does smoke too many cigarettes. And his girlfriend was saying, yeah, he doesn't, you know, his diet is not that bad. And so here's what we're doing. We're describing our life and our health in terms of things that are not great for our health. He never did say, well, you know, I like to eat a lot of fresh vegetables. I did remind him of this. He didn't talk about how much water he likes to drink. He didn't talk about a fitness program. And now, the other aspect to this, of course, I'm a physician and I'm seeing people that have a health problem, a physical health problem, but a lot of our approaches to our physical health, it's really not that different from our approaches to, let's say, our relationship health or our occupational or financial health. Not that different from how we approach our community's health. And so we are taking some ambitions that are not very high, and we're getting some outcomes, okay, like a blood pressure that's way through the roof. And we don't want those outcomes, but we have an outlook, okay, a mindset that keeps us from going where we want to go. Now, that is a lot to unpack. I think that you'll understand if I'm talking to him, I'm taking care of him in the hospital. But somehow we have to have this conversation because it's basically we're killing ourselves with our own ideas. I don't want to be too dramatic, but that is what is happening. Afterwards, he says, well, how do you think I'm going to do? And then we have to have somewhat of a serious conversation. And I told him, well, I think that, okay, while you've described your health, a lot of what you're experiencing is about 15% of what you could be experiencing in terms of health. As a matter of fact, probably 10%. I told him. I told him, you could be doing 10 times better than what you're doing right now. And we had a rapport, and he kind of chuckled. He was a little bit surprised because it was entirely different from what he had been telling himself and what his girlfriend also, what they were telling each other about each other. I said, you could be doing 10 times better than you're doing right now. Why aren't you doing 10 times better than what you're doing right now? I'm asking you, why aren't you doing 10 times better than what you're doing right now? I'm talking about in all aspects of life. 10 times better, and I'm not exaggerating. You could be doing 10 times better. I could be doing 10 times better too. We have to figure it out, and we have to stop making excuses for ourselves, complaining, criticizing what other people are doing and the way they're doing it, how they're making their choices. We have to stop these behaviors that we do rather than make moves ourselves. Let's stop letting ourselves off the hook. We have choices. So now, we've said that the root to all disease is an idea. It's an idea that we don't have choice, or that we don't have many choices. It's a lie that we're telling ourselves. We always have choices. Every problem has solutions, and multiple solutions. We have to keep our eyes open for those solutions. Look for those solutions. Don't give up. If the root to all disease is the idea, the illusion, the lie that we are telling ourselves that we have no choice, well then the cure to all disease is telling ourselves positive affirmations that we do have choice. We are full of resources. We are full of value. We are worth it. We can learn from experience. We have what it takes. We can build a network. We can learn. We can build our information. We can grow from our experiences. You hear these ideas, they're the absolute opposite to the root to all disease. I hope that keeps you winning today. And if you like this message, and if you think that somebody needs to hear it, please share it with them. Could save their life. Keep winning, guys. Take care.